Ladies and gentlemen, game week 23 is nearly in the books. It is Monday, the 13th of February. We do have the Merseyside derby still to go tonight. I have the game as 1-0 to Everton. It's kind of my bigger upset of the week. James has Liverpool sneaking through with a 2-1. Everyone, sorry to cut off the intro so abruptly, but James and I did just want to say, if you fancy it, scroll down and hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. James and I are quite keen to get there, and we would love your support to do so. We hit 800 subscribers recently, and while you're down there, hit the like button as well if you don't mind. Drop a comment on the video if you like what you've seen. But yeah, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell as well if you want to be notified for future videos. I won't give kind of the overall scores just yet. I'll probably update that in future. I will say though, over the course of the week so far, I'm up on James by 1 point, 6 points to 5. Obviously tonight, unless it's a draw, we're also going to have some movements on the score there, but I will update all of that stuff after game week 24. We are just recording here on a Monday before the Merseyside derby. But James, game week 24 now, Aston Villa versus Arsenal, who are also having to play Manchester City on Wednesday. How are Arsenal going to deal with that after the Man City game? Away Aston Villa, Unai Emery back on kind of, going to his new stomping ground. How do you see that one shaking out?
Jack, this is a mad one to me. Early kickoff too. Again, the game on Wednesday is going to play a massive part in this result in my Arsenal win. I see us winning this game. We lose, I see us losing this game here because I think I see the confidence is going to kill us. Jack.
I know it's such a nightmare. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't believe that this one hasn't been swapped with one of the like Sunday ones. I really can't. I'm like kind of amazed actually.
But again, Saturday is almost to me one of the peak times for the Premier League. Aston Villa winning the game 2-1.
Oh, James, I can't believe it. Starting out hot. Look, I tend to agree with your sentiments though, mate. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think it will happen that strongly. I think if you win or if you lose, I think the emotional build-up and the stress of Wednesday, win or lose, you then have to go away and play against Unai Emery, who's going to try and play you a certain way. And I just think it's going to be a frustrating, kind of annoying football match that's probably going to leave you, if you beat City and then you drop 2 points at Aston Villa, you're going to think, well, what the hell was the point in the first place? So I'm going with 1-1. Like I said, I think Unai Emery is going to try and frustrate the Arsenal team, and I think the Arsenal team are just going to be mentally, maybe even physically, just a little bit weary on that one. So I'm going to go 1-1 there.
Jack, this doesn't feel good. I'm not even going to lie. I don't feel good about that.
It's not going to be. It might be a great week for Arsenal, but it also might not be. They need to just do what they can do. Brentford versus Palace, though. I'm going to keep going on this one. 2-0 to Brentford. Again, pretty kind of cut and dry here. I just think Brentford are the better team. Brentford are at home. We saw that the most predictable game of all time with that Crystal Palace Brighton 1-1 that we both got right, by the way, with the correct score. But look, I just think that, again, the Palace team are relatively predictable, and Brentford is just a better team, and they're at home, plain and simple. Obviously, we saw the Arsenal game. Ivan Toney could have had a couple of goals potentially there, and he's in good form too. So 2-0, probably Ivan Toney on the score sheet. Who have you got there, James? Brentford versus?
I'm going to go down the middle here, but I look at Crystal Palace overall. Jack hasn't been great lately. Can't remember the last time they won a game. The last 5 from what I've seen, no wins, and even like the game against Brighton, it could have been completely different, Jack. With the goalkeeper blunder and things like that, and other decisions going their way, that could have been a completely different game. But I just think that they can go ahead and sneak something from Brentford. So I'm going to say 1-0, Jack.
1-1, nice. Wow, God. Villa beating Arsenal and then Brentford Palace 1-1. Man, James is holding no punches.
I hope I'm wrong for at least one of them, and the one I'm wrong for.
James, staying with you, Wolves, Bournemouth coming to town though. Kind of interesting. Wolves, a 10-man Wolves beating Southampton on the weekend. What have you got in this one?
Yeah, Wolves with an incredible win. The fact that they went a man down was massive. You know, Jack, the fact that they've even won their last two against two teams, one team that you didn't expect them to win, and another team that you know, was almost like a 6-pointer. They were able to do that. Again, did you see the sending off for Lamina? That was
that bad?
It was. He got a yellow card for running towards the referee. But I'm going to
Lamina's scary.
I'm going to back them again. They've somehow, some way have found their shooting boots on. I'm going to say 2-0 Wolves.
Jen, I got 2-1. I still think that defense is a little bit suspect, but James, I'm kind of fast becoming a Wolves fan over here. I really, because I've been saying this all season. I love the talent in the squad. If I just read off some of the names here, I think there's some insane talent knocking around. Ryan Aït-Nouri's a nice player. Johnny Otto's there. Nelson Semedo, Mario Lemina, Ruben Neves, Daniel Podence, Pablo Sarabia, Mateus Nunes from Atletico Madrid recently, João Gomez that they got, the Brazilian, Pedro Neto, Mateus Cunha, who they got from for Atletico Madrid. I like the talent in the team, and I really like oh my God, I'm blanking on the coach's name again. Lopetegui. I really like Julian Lopetegui. So again, whenever I would pick them thinking, oh, they're a good team, and then they'd lose, I'd always feel so let down. But now I think with Lopetegui there, they're slowly figuring it out, and I can see them getting better and better. We've seen the investment, and I think that, like I said, I think I said this in the last predictions video. Next season, I'm probably looking at Wolves to make a serious jump from where they are now in terms of their position, and maybe challenging for those Europa League and Conference League places maybe. So 2-1 for me there. I just think the defense is still a little bit suspect. Staying with me, Brighton versus Fulham. Really fascinating game. This is kind of like new era Premier League kind of rivalry territory here, because this is two, I think it's fair to say, overperforming teams that you maybe wouldn't expect. And the fact it's at Brighton, I think obviously just nudges it in their favour ever so slightly. So I am going to go 2-1 Brighton versus Fulham. But James, realistically, I could see Fulham snagging this. I really like Marco Silva as a manager. I'm kind of a closet Fulham fan as it is. But again, Brighton, it's so hard to turn down the success that they've had. And James, I think credit to De Zerbi as well. Graham Potter leaves, and Cucurella leaves, and Moises Caicedo's thinking about leaving, and Trossard leaves, and I think you could easily excuse Brighton for kind of falling off here a little bit, but they're still remaining relatively competitive and continuing the same thing. So credit where credit's due. 2-1 Brighton for me in that one. But again, if Fulham win, I'm not going to be too surprised.
A team that, in my opinion, everybody seems to fall in love with lately is Brighton. Not only what the manager's doing, the players overall. They seem a lot of players that a lot of teams want overall. You look at the performances against Liverpool. They've they've just been fantastic all year. Unlucky not to get all 3 points against Crystal Palace, Jack. And again, Fulham's been playing unbelievable too. And interestingly enough, Brighton have never beaten Fulham in the Premier League.
No kidding. I did not know that.
So they played 5, 3 draws and 2 wins for Fulham. But I'm going to think Brighton are going to break that hoodoo, and I'm going to say 1-0 to Brighton.
1-0 Brighton. I like it. James, staying with you, obviously it would help us a great deal if we had the Monday night football game today as a little bit of extra information to inform our decision here, but we don't. So sorry about that. But Everton versus Leeds. Who have you got?
Interestingly enough, Jack, the 2 games against Leeds played against Manchester United. Granted that they picked up 1 point out of that, they'll probably be scratching their head thinking, we should have 6 points. They had enough chances to take the lead on Sunday against Manchester United, and on Wednesday, Jack, they were 2-0 ahead, and lose and then not winning from that position is very, very disappointing. Everton, on the other hand, again, we don't know what's going to happen today, but Sean Dyche and what he's brought in that first game, beating top of the table Arsenal, I'm gonna just back Everton at this moment in time. That good match feeling of having a manager in. Yes, Leeds have lost their manager. Let's see who comes in there. But I'm just gonna say Everton are gonna do it, and I'm gonna stick with another 1-1. I'm stick with another 1-0. 1-0 Everton.
I was desperate for you when you said take the lead. I thought you were going to say take the Leeds. I was desperate for you to say some sort of terrible joke like that, but missed the boat. Look, Dan, I'm going for the exact same thing. And again, until proven otherwise, I think this is just going to be kind of a pick strategy for me. I think I'm going to pick the way I feel until I see something that makes me feel differently. And again, I was thinking about this and talking to friends about this recently. Like, what's the best kind of team a manager like Sean Dyche can actually manage? And in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe Atletico Madrid and Sean Dyche. That would be kind of a funny little like combo. This like ginger goatee, bald head, gravelly voice type guy at Atletico Madrid, getting these 1-0 victories, maybe winning a La Liga and annoying everybody. But apart from that, James, if you look at the candidates, Everton might be like the best fit for a manager like Sean Dyche in terms of the entirety of his career. He's never managing the likes of a Barcelona or Bayern Munich, whatever. With his style, the way he is, and the way he approaches football, Everton might be the best gig for him. And again, if he can have some early success, we could be talking about him being an Everton manager for a long, long time here. So for me, 1-0. Yeah, I had 1-0 Everton beating Liverpool. I've got him I think I had him 1-0 with the game before. I've got him 1-0 again here. I'm going to keep going down this road until I hear something different. Chelsea, Southampton, probably my two least favorite teams to pick this year at the moment. Southampton, because they at any point could do anything, like lose to a 10-man Wolves at home, and then Chelsea as well, because again, you look at the state of the squad, and if João Felix gets a brace and Mudryk scores a goal, and then Badiashile scores a header, and they win a game 4-0, you go, well, yeah, of course, they've spent all this money, they've got all these insanely talented players. Graham Potter, they're at home. You go, well, yeah, of course that was going to happen. But again, we've been seeing that is not the case. That is not the case at all. This has been difficult for Chelsea lately, and I think Graham Potter will have until the summer transfer window, and then if we start going into next year with Chelsea still playing like this, he won't be there much longer. And Southampton, again, we never know what we're going to get. This is a team, in my view, capable of beating Man City, playing at their very best, but then a team also losing to bottom of the table, playing at their very worst. This is the weirdest, strangest team. I believe Nathan Jones isn't there anymore, right? I think I got that. I think I got that as well. So, again, more change in the head position. And this is a team that needs to go down. I'm kind of rooting for them to go. It's my local team, actually, just down the road here from me. But, like, you know, I really am not particularly happy with Southampton. I think they need a kick in the pants to get themselves going. So I'm going 1-1. I think that, you know, even if it is at Stamford Bridge, I can just see Chelsea faltering, not quite getting it right. Southampton maybe snagging a James Ward-Prowse direct free kick maybe, and then Chelsea pulling it out for 1-1. What have you got, James?
I feel like we say we don't know what we're going to get from Southampton. We say that every single week,
right?
When we do this show, but to me, it's like we kind of seem to know what we're going to get because usually it's a loss.
Right. Right.
Jack, if we're being truthfully honest, but to be fair, this season, Jack, they were able to beat Chelsea 2-1, and like that was during the Thomas Tuchel reign. But you know, like they have these weird type of results that they can get. But I don't think Graham Potter can afford not to win this game, Jack. I think if he doesn't win this game, Chelsea fans are going to say,
what the hell's going on here? Right.
Because it's not like he's losing to City and all that, Jack. He's dropping Fulham at home, West Ham after taking the lead. A lot of games that you should go on to do something with. They haven't seemed to perform yet. They got João Felix. He looks a serious threat.
Just quickly, sorry to cut you off, but again, James, we had a video which I think we had a lot of fun shooting about transition period. I think you and I are going to be the first people to say that, yeah, okay, transition periods exist, but again, these are top-level professionals. You can't beat Fulham at home, you can't beat Southampton at home. You know, this is not the same as a big change. You're still a top-level football player and supposedly a top-level coach.
100%, Jack. 100%. Questions will be start asking soon if he doesn't pick up results. But I think he's going to get a result here. Southampton, they don't have a manager at this moment of time. I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea, Jack.
Ooh, with authority. I like it. Right, James, staying with you. Nottingham Forest, Manchester City playing here. But will they be fresh off a victory against Arsenal or fresh off a loss against Arsenal? Who do you have, City versus Nottingham Forest?
Okay, so this season was the first time that they played since 1995, which is very interesting. City won the last game 6-0. I don't see it being a 6-0. Southampton have seemed to get themselves together since then, but I still see a Manchester City win. Just overall, the quality is too much, and maybe the fact that the Champions League is coming towards and City's concentration might drift a little bit. but I'm still going to say the fact of, obviously, let's see what's going on, happen on Wednesday, but I'm going to stick with 2-0 Manchester City.
2-0 Man City. Yeah, look, I've got 3-1, so same score differential. I can just see Forest snagging something. I think there is renewed optimism at Forest. We've talked about it. They've been playing a bit better. So, can they get an early goal and then City grind them down and then end up winning? Like, that could potentially happen in the same way. City could go up 3 and then, they could drop off at the end. Like you say, their mind might go elsewhere. And then, they can just snag one at the end. That's kind of my general thought process. Again, I think the difficulty here will be what is the reaction from the Arsenal game? And I think you and I have both here looked at it just on the most likely thing that's going to happen and then just going from there. Because again, we don't have all the information yet. That's the problem with recording before the Wednesday game. Staying with me, Newcastle versus Liverpool. 1-0 Newcastle. Clean sheet, score a goal. Yeah, that's going to be about it. My faith in Liverpool is ever dwindling. What I think, if I was a Liverpool fan, what would scare me would be conversations about getting rid of Klopp and kind of a new era and all this kind of stuff. New owners, new era, blah, blah, blah. Because Jurgen Klopp is one of the best in the business. And if you ask me at Roma, with the number one coach in the world that I would want, I would ask for Jurgen Klopp. I would. I love Jurgen Klopp to bits. Liverpool, you don't know how lucky you have it. So to me, even if this is another loss, I think this year largely is just a bit of a write-off. New owners come in. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of movement within the squad. Players leaving, players coming in. Lots of money being spent, but you've got to trust Jurgen Klopp going forward. But yeah, 1-0 Newcastle. This train's going to keep going. And again, Newcastle will just go from strength to strength until they're winning Premier Leagues.
Jack, the recent just overall Premier League history, this is a fixture that Liverpool dominated heavily. But as you can see, Jack, a lot of change since Liverpool has been dominating in its change in a short period of time. Newcastle are a team that probably are odds-on favourite to win the game and should be, and I back them to go ahead and win this game. I think Liverpool will get a goal. I'm going to say 3-1 Newcastle.
3-1 Newcastle. Right, James, staying with you. Manchester United just coming off a victory against Leeds. Leicester City, though, probably more impressively, coming off a big win against Spurs. It's at Old Trafford, but Manchester United versus Leicester. Who have you got?
For some reason with Manchester United, Jack, they're seeming to find a way, and they're slowly but surely creeping into a bit of a title race. They went second yesterday before City played Aston Villa, and United just seem to just keep on going. I'm not sure if Casemiro is going to be back. They don't seem to perform well without Casemiro in the team. No, he won't be back because he has a 3-match ban for a straight red card.
Yeah.
I just think this is too much, Jack.
He's a freak show at the moment.
Jack. It's too much. I want to say Leicester, but I just think it's too much. I think United are just going to snag this. I'm going to say, bear in mind, Leicester won, beaten Villa and Tottenham, and they scored 4 goals in that time. So they're going to come in with some serious momentum here. I'm going to say 3-2 Manchester United. 3-2
Manchester United. James, I have the opposite score. I have 3-2 the other way round. And I'll tell you why. There's a team from Catalonia who Manchester United are starting to play on Thursday. And, that's kind of a big deal. The world...
They play them this Thursday?
Yeah, I think it's this Thursday that they're playing them. So, again, I should have checked this, and I hold my hands up, I apologize. I don't know whether the first leg is at Old Trafford or whether it's at Barcelona. But to me, the brain is going on that. I think I saw on Twitter from the lineup, because I didn't see the full game. I believe the starting centre-back pairing versus Leeds was Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. So I think Varane and Lisandro Martinez were both rested, and I think Erik ten Hag has a mind that that's going to be for this Barcelona game coming up. We know how well Barcelona are playing in La Liga at the moment as well. So again, interesting thing. And I think Leicester City are one of these teams. They don't really have a great deal of fear. I think they will be able to come to Old Trafford, put up some numbers, put up some goals, and Manchester United might be a little distracted. The reason why I still think this will happen, I've still got Manchester United scoring 2 goals, and I think Marcus Rashford will score one of them. Quick question for you, James, though. Is it sustainable? I don't want to derail the video and start talking about Marcus Rashford. Are we going to see this consistently, do you think, or is this just a purple patch and we'll go back to the type soon?
This is a sort of young Messi and Ronaldo purple patch we're seeing right now from Marcus Rashford. No, it's not sustainable, Jack. To be this
I don't
effective,
think so.
like it's this is what I'm saying. This is Ballon d'Or form we're talking here,
Right.
Jack. This is, and he's just scoring goals, Jack. It's winning goals.
Mm-hmm.
It's goals that decide games. It's Jack. It's a first goal. It's a last goal. That's what Jack. That's what he's doing at this moment in time, which is scary. So I don't think it's sustainable.
No,
He's definitely going to keep the same level, but not the goal. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, huge props to how he's playing. Final game of the week: Spurs versus West Ham. Yeah, I again similar to Chelsea and Southampton. I hate picking Spurs as well. I hate picking Spurs. I'm really upset for Bentancur. Such a shame. You know how highly I think of him. I think he's such a great little player. Who again just hasn't quite found his niche, his role, or his team yet. Again, I think Spurs really rate him, but I don't think they're using him as they probably should be here at all. But West Ham as well, also disappointing. I just think with the likes of Kane and Son, the firepower, and also James, we're getting to a stage now where Kulusevski is kind of getting back to kind of like full match fitness and sharpness here. And, I think that 3 will be dynamic again. So Spurs, West Ham, I'm going to go 2-0 Tottenham. But again, I can easily see Spurs letting me down here.
Again, you mentioned Europe. Tottenham are playing
Milan on Tuesday.
Milan on like Tuesday. Bear in mind they are playing on Sunday, so they get a decent amount of rest. But again, Jack, with this Tottenham team, you don't know what you're gonna get, Jack.
No.
You go from the performance you get against Manchester City to losing, Jack. No, they lost 4-1, and it could have been a lot more.
Yeah.
They had Leicester City had goals disallowed from VAR in the game, so I just don't know really what Tottenham are going to do, and I don't even think Antonio Conte knows what he's going to get from his team at this moment of time. So I'm just going to sit on the fence, Jack, here, and I'm going to go 1-0.
Yeah, look, James, I don't blame you there at all. And again, with that kind of a fixture and with these kinds of teams, there's a certain level of I might just pick 2 numbers at random and just see what happens. Guys, let us know as per usual what your thoughts are on this game week 24. Obviously, we're slowly making our way into the home straight of the season here as well. Drop a like on the video if you like what you've seen. Scroll down, hit that comment section with your predictions as well. We do want to see those, and hit subscribe as well if you haven't. Until next time, James and I will see you.